Am I live? I just had my phone rotated, but I guess you can't do that anymore. Didn't I used to do that in the past? I think I used to do landscape. I did. Anyway, things are always changing. Well, I'm back. Here I am. It's been, last time I did, I hope you can hear me okay, first of all. I don't have my earbuds in. And you may hear road noise in the background. So I'm hoping that the audio on this will be okay. Yeah. So the last video I left was when I was in Idaho back in July. And here it is, October 1st. Holy moly. So I am in New Hampshire right now. Here's my view. I am at Lake Chicora. And I got back to Massachusetts at the end of July. I came back specifically for family reasons. I am now a great aunt. I have a great nephew, or is it a grandnephew? If I'm a great aunt? I don't know. But there's a new life in my life. And who's here watching? Mary Ellen is in the house. Hi, Mary Ellen. So I got back to Massachusetts at the end of July, and it's been a whirlwind since, and that's partly why I haven't come on and left any Facebook Lives. And it's kind of funny too, right? Because here I am on this page called Babs and the Heroine's Journey, right? So in my mind, it was the journey. It was my journey cross country, and originally the idea was the journey to find my new home and this calling I had for decades to live, quote, out west somewhere. So I was out there for much of the year, traveling around, checking out places. But my journey was quite different than I thought it was going to be. It was a very, very, primarily very, very deep emotional journey, just in different locations. So, and now here I am back in Massachusetts, and some part of me, part of the reason I think, at least psychologically, not intentionally, that I haven't left a video is because part of me feels like, well, I guess that journey's over, right? Because I'm back in Massachusetts. But it's most definitely not over. The emotional journey is certainly not over, never over, I don't think. Just changes over time. But the physical journey, it's funny, I'm staying at my mother's house. And that's where I left from last August, a year ago, August. And it's interesting to there's a saying, who is it that says, there's something about life is like about taking a journey and coming back to where you started, but seeing it with entirely different eyes, right? So I feel like I'm back in the neighborhood I grew up in a different house, but in adjacent to the house I grew up in the neighborhood where, as I've shared on some of these videos, some very intense, difficult things happened for me in that neighborhood, in the context of that neighborhood. And I'm back there now, and I knew in every fiber of my being that I wanted to come back in order to be there for the birth of the baby. And it's been perfect for me to be there and to be helping out in the way that I have been. So I know it's all perfect and it's all right. And yet, there's still this looming question for me. Where am I going to live? Where's my home? That's the big question. And it's like not getting on with my life, because you're always on with your life, right? Whether you think you are or not, you are. But, I stepped away through the pandemic and through my journey across country and everything, or around the country. My engagement with my business has been really low. Before the pandemic, for years, decades really, I've had a bodywork practice, right? One-on-one, hands-on bodywork, which I've loved. And then the pandemic, and then closing my office, and then getting back to doing it, but in a limited capacity. And then my relationship of 15 years ending, and then knowing that was my opportunity to go and live out west like I've wanted to for years. And then, doing the work to consciously uncouple and move out of the house, and then hitting the road. And holy crap, it's been intense, right? And it's been magical, and it's been all these things. And so now I'm re-engaging with my business, trying to get my business off the ground again, but in a very different way. And a very important part of my past year has been this Healers Academy that I've been enrolled in and participating in. It's called the Kairos Healers Academy. And it's been transformational, and it's been amazing, and it's been, I don't even have the words to describe what Kairos has been for me. So I feel like, I want to say I feel like a different person, but the truth is I feel more me than I ever have. It's like all that stuff that we layer over ourselves based on fears, limiting beliefs, traumas, all that stuff. Like most of that is stripped away. So I feel like me now more than ever. So that's being reflected in my business, where my work was always me, but like a watered down version of me, and only what I knew to do. You know, I started out as a physical therapist, working with chronic pain, learning about craniosacral therapy and energy and how the emotions are held in the body. I would talk about your story being written in your body, this fascination with fascia, doing talks about fascia and educating people about how the nature of the body is different than most people or many people know it to be, including the entire traditional medical model. There's that. So being in Kairos now, and Kairos it's advertised as the magical trade school for the intuitive and healing arts, or something like that. So it really gets into the woo, and I have done this dance with woo all of my adult life. Who else is here? I see somebody else here. I'm not sure who else is here. It's not telling me. Anyway, welcome. So I've done this dance with woo, right? Where I remember the first time I heard energy mentioned, I thought, who are these wingnuts? It was just shortly after I got out of college back in the 80s. I never heard the term energy. I thought it was crazy talk, right? But over the course of my adult life, I've really learned. Oh, Margaret's here. Hey, Margaret, good to see you here. It's so lovely that you're here. So this dance with woo, right? And I've learned over the course of my adult life, I've learned to love the woo. Like for me, the real heart and soul of living and most of the really, truly beautiful and magical things I've experienced in my life are connected to that world. Meaning seeing life as more than just the physical reality, but the energy behind it and the spirit behind it and the interconnectedness of everything and all like that, right? The magic that's there, the synchronicities that are there, the things that I've experienced that, you know, conventional life or science or whatever would say is crazy. But I've experienced it firsthand, so I know it's real. So this Kairos Healers Academy is very out there. I mean, one of the things we jokingly say is like, let your freak flag fly. And I'm sure I've said that on other videos here. So now as I am stepping into the new embodiment of my business, my new website is about to launch, which I've been literally working on for 2 years with a web designer who very graciously kind of gave me the year off and held space for me while I took this journey so that we could allow the transformation to occur. So anyway, she's working on it now. It should be launching any time. And it's going to be interesting for people that know me and have followed me for a while and have worked with me, because it's going to be quite different. You know, up till now, I've advertised myself as a holistic physical therapist. And I'm taking physical therapy out. Not that I regret anything about it. I still know that my physical therapy knowledge and experience is a vital part of who I am and the work I do. But I certainly don't do physical therapy now. It's like not even close, because my work is very much about healing trauma, healing from trauma especially. I mean, my personal journey has been that, and that's my medicine in the world, is going deep into it and alchemizing it, meaning turning it from lead into gold, right? So the wounding, the pain of the trauma, transforming it into actually your joy and your superpowers. And it's really, I mean, part of the woo world is like believing that we come here as a soul journey, right? That I came here for this. I came here for all of the experiences I had. Not that that means, oh yay, I'm so glad that happened. More like, that sucked, but I signed up for it as a soul to learn something. So therefore, the work is about gleaning the medicine and the power from it. And it's hard work, man. Because to do that, you have to go into it. You can't bypass it. You got to go into it and through it, and then you come out. It's like the phoenix, right? So my new website is going to reflect that a lot more. And part of me is worried that it'll alienate some people that have been in my world, in my community, that they're going to think, oh boy, she's gone off the deep end and she doesn't really have anything for me anymore. And if that's the case, I'm truly sorry about that. And I also know that you're going to be able to get your needs met better with someone else who's more aligned with you. But, you know, if you've been on this journey with me enough and learned to trust me, there's so much here. There's so much magic here. So my website is about to launch, and one of the terms I've been playing with as far as describing myself and my work is embodied story alchemist. Because so much of my healing has been, over the past 3 or 4 years, remembering my story, learning how to talk about my story, how to process my story, how to share my story. Still learning that one, and I will be for a long time. You know, and all along I've been talking about your story written in your body, right? And so I'm really owning the story piece of it. Like, I'm a storyteller. I love telling stories. I think I tell stories pretty well, according to people that tell me I do. So I'm really embracing the storytelling part of it, but also owning the story part of the story being written in the body. And this work of, you know, so many people are advised and expect themselves, myself included up until recently, to like, oh, you just have to get past your story, put the past behind you, don't keep dredging that up, or those kinds of things. But what I've learned is like, no, we came here for this story. And so actually owning your story and working with it and not trying to bypass it is where you find the most powerful version of yourself. So that's what I'm going to start really advertising for my work, and the type of work I'm going to do with people is going there. So all of that's happening. So I'm going to be coming up with different kinds of offers of doing work with people, you know, one-on-one work for sure, virtually. Once I land somewhere, I'm sure I'll do physical one-on-one work again, body work, but for now it'll be virtual space. And there's so much that can happen in the virtual space. It's not a less than, it's just a different than. And I'm going to be doing some group programs with different colleagues. One's called The Healing Room, where we're going to do weekly 90-minute Zoom calls as a group, where we just work with issues that are alive for people. That's going to be really exciting. I'll be announcing that soon. The last video I did with my friend Dana in Idaho, we're going to be doing a program about, right now the working title in my brain anyway, Dana and I have to connect, but it's about getting your body back. Like, I know I need to get my body back. I've let it really go as far as gaining weight and losing strength and all of that. Because then we're going to lead a backpacking retreat next summer. So that's very exciting. And then there's another collaboration I'm working with. I'm actually going to be enrolling in year 2 of Kairos, taking on more of a leadership role there. So that's just going to be deepening my transformation, you know. So a lot is up, and I still haven't settled on a home. I'm going to be checking out the Southeast in a few weeks, Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, all that stuff's kind of coming alive for me. And we'll see what happens next. So there's my update. I will be starting to send out emails again. I have completely disconnected from my email list, but I'm going to start showing up there again. So this week I'll be sending out some stuff. I know Kairos is doing some events, really amazing events for healers or people that are healer curious. Rise of the Healers retreat is next weekend. I'll be sending out some information on that. And then second year Kairos is enrolling starting soon. So if you feel like you're a healer or feel the calling but feel like I don't know where to begin, Kairos is amazing. So I think I'll end here, but it's good to be back, and the journey continues. So I'd love to hear from you. If you want to leave anything in the comments, or if you're not on my email list, if you'd like to be, if you don't know, just put it in the comments that you want to be, and I'll check, and I will be showing up there more soon. So big love to you. Hope you get out and enjoy this amazing fall weather, or wherever you are, whatever the weather is. Hope you get out and enjoy this beautiful planet of ours. All right, big love. Bye. How do I finish? I forget. It's been so long. Bryn's here. Hey, Bryn. All right, bye. Bye, Bryn.